Hey, what's poppin' everyone? Bubbly here and welcome to a brand new video. Before we start, the reason I haven't been uploading is because my headset busted and the audio is absolutely abysmal. So, it sounds like a wasp buzzing in your fucking ear and I couldn't stand for that. This motherfucker has standards, so I couldn't bring myself to record anything. But now I'm using my iPad to record audio separately so I can have better quality, because for some reason it sounds a lot better than the headset. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. So, happy Pride Month, and without further ado, this is the story of how I eventually figured out I was trans. So it all started 7 years ago. It was 2017 at that point, and that's when I started to notice being a man didn't exactly. I didn't vibe with it. So I didn't necessarily vibe with identifying as male. I didn't feel attached to anything manly or whatever the fuck. Put it more bluntly, I felt numb, you know? Just, it didn't bring me anything. But at the same time, I wasn't as educated on trans stuff, because I barely knew much about the gender spectrum and whatnot. So, for quite a while, I thought that in order to identify as trans, you had to... That bottom surgery was or the desire to have a vagina was absolutely mandatory to identify as trans, and that caused a little predicament. Like, I didn't like being male, but at the same time, my uneducated ass had no desire for bottom surgery and still don't. So I had interest in exploring identifying as a female, but at the same time, I didn't desire bottom surgery. So, some time passes, and there's a Psych2Go video on different sexualities and gender identities. This was a really old video. This was before they got busted for being pieces of shit. So I watched the video, and I learned about a handful of other gender identities, non-binary, and stuff like that. And then I came across the gender fluid identity, which they described as bouncing between being boy, girl, neither. And that after some time and pondering a bit, I identified as gender fluid. Sort of this, since I had, once again, and let me reiterate, I had no desire for bottom surgery, but was wanting to experiment with a female identity to see if I'd feel more at home identifying as female or something else entirely, you know. Again, I wasn't very bright at the time, so the gender fluid identity at the time was sort of this sandbox for me to explore gender and shit and other things I didn't really touch throughout the early half of my teenage years. Because I live in bumfuck Kentucky, so I'm expected to act a certain way. Okay, though, for a moment, we're gonna rewind a little bit further back for just a moment. Because when I got one from a modern me's, I'm gonna give y'all an observation I've made about my past self regarding the signs I found nowadays. So whenever I'd see like an art of a female character in like a very nice looking outfit, I would say, if I was a girl, I'd wear that. So that's like the first big sign that something's up, right? And then when I play, say, Pokemon, I would choose the female trainer. Sure, I don't fully identify as female. Oh, sure. fast forwarding back to the if I was, quote unquote, if I was a girl, well, in retrospect, why couldn't I be? So those of us that are AMAB or assigned male at birth, but us trans people like to call it misgendering with extra steps, you know. we have this thing called boy moding, which is appearing, well, male since you, that's your birth sex or... Okay, we're getting off track. So I finally delved into wearing girly attire, though my outfits weren't exact choices were absolutely fucking abysmal, because I had no taste whatsoever. But I was kind of happy, even though to everyone else I looked like complete shit. Though I rarely ever whipped out the girly clothes, what little I had, and started to preferring being clean shaven 24/7. Literally just a couple years prior, I was all about growing a big fucking beard to, you know, to meet this sort of expectation or some shit. It's fucking stupid in retrospect. I don't know why I had the beard phase even. But once I got it, I wasn't happy with it anymore. So there I am, it's 2017, I'm age 16, and I keep shaving the beard and it keeps coming back really, really fast, and that kind of pissed me off. And you know, I'd only shave like once a week, because I didn't have much motivation as much as I wanted the beard gone. So a little more time passes, and when you really think about it, are you boy moding because you want to, or are you boy moding because either you have to, or you don't really have the motivation to maintain your desired appearance for what you identify with in order to pass, you know? But again, I hadn't exactly connected all the dots yet. So for a while, in my DeviantArt thing, I'd pretty much use any pronouns, and whenever on the rare instance I'd get hit with the she/her, it was like, oh my god, that felt fucking good. God damn, say it again, you know. I don't even know this. In retrospect, I don't even know why I even tried to maintain the he/hims in there. I guess it was just because I guess I just wasn't ready to make the full leap into the feminine pipeline. Wait, no, I know what it is. It's the fucking stigma. It's always been the stigma. Let's be real. A lot more people would experiment with their gender and sexuality if homophobia and transphobia wouldn't exist. And in turn, we probably have a 50-50 of straights and cis and queers and whatnot. I'm serious. Hear me out. Like, those of you who are queer in my audience, what was like the first thing to pop up in your head when you found out you were gay, bi, trans, pan, non-binary? You know, I can guarantee that most of y'all weren't like, oh neat, I'm gay, trans, etc. Your first reaction was like, ah shit, I'm gay. Or any equivalent depending on what you identify as. Like, yeah, it's neat you found out something new about yourself that you didn't initially know for the longest time. But from here on out, because of all the stigma that's been prominent for hundreds, if not thousands of years, maybe, I don't know, your life's gonna get a whole lot harder, and now there's no turning back. You open Pandora's box. Hell, I remember the first time I got turned on by a male, and my initial reaction wasn't, oh, they're hot, and they're like, oh shit, he's like, oh shit, they're hot. Oh shit, I'm attracted to men. That was my initial reaction. For clarity's sake, I identify as pansexual, so I'm pretty much attracted to all genders. So, for a while, I didn't know if I could actually commit to a relationship with a guy, because, the stigma. I know we're getting off track, but I'll assure you that you gain more courage to make the leap with time. I've been dating Jack Battersby for 3 or 4 years now. Good man. He was also the number one Rivals of Ether player in all of Australia, which is pretty neat that he'd hook up with a nobody like me. Jack, if you're watching this, just know I love you, and I want to keep things going for a long time. Okay, we're getting off track again. Back onto the main topic. Now, the stigma. All right, TLDR. If there wasn't homophobia or transphobia, there'd probably be a lot more people willing to explore their gender and sexuality. All right, I didn't know if I was ready to make the leap and accept the consequences, So several years pass. Just like a few, for a while, I still believed we're going back into the whole bottom surgery spiel, alright? I still thought I needed bottom surgery to identify as trans. So, but then that was gonna change. I had friended somebody who I knew before they transitioned, and then they identified it as gender fluid. They went down the same route I did, sort of, gender fluid and bigender, and then they accepted that they were trans. And then, after a few months after that, I asked them, do I need bottom surgery to be trans? And then they're like, no, of course not. It all made sense. Gender was a thing from the heart, and the desire for bottom surgery would be kinda hypocritical, because genitals don't equal gender, so why change? You shouldn't have to change it in order to identify as such. So, it's just whatever you're comfortable with. If you want bottom surgery, go ahead. If you don't want it, that's cool. Like she said, gender's a thing that... Gender's what's in here, not out here, my rugged ass. Sorry, we're all stuttering. This is pretty big for me. So a little more time. There was a little bit more time before I fully accepted myself as trans. This was like during the pandemic. But this was the final nail in the coffin. Like, yep, I'm a girl, okay? So, it has to do with your mental images. When you picture yourself in the third person, like when you're thinking about a scenario in your head? At that point, I wasn't seeing a guy anymore. I was seeing a woman or something. It's weird, right? I couldn't, for the longest time, I couldn't explain it. In fact, I was having this third person mental image all the way back into when I was like 13 or 14. Now that I think about it, the signs were all there, boom. God damn it, this has gone off the fucking rails. Okay, let's go to our closing statements. Alright? If you feel like a girl, then you are a girl. You don't have to dress. It's not about dressing up. It's not about your body. It's not about your appearance. It's about one hidden ear. If you feel like a girl, then you are a girl. You don't have. The process, in reality, is optional, alright? You don't have to socially or medically transition first to identify as a girl, alright? No ifs, ands, or buts. You think you're a girl and you feel at home identifying as female? There you go. You're a girl. Alright, so that's all the time we have. I chopped up a bunch of Minecraft footage, and I'm going to be doing similar content like this, where I talk about different subject matter, like this, like queer stuff, and I don't know, drug stuff maybe. That should be fun. This is the first time doing a video in this format, and I intend to do more like it, maybe a bit more refined. So, without further ado, thank you guys for watching all the way through. Happy Pride Month. If you're still reluctant to come out, that's okay. Sometimes it's safer in the closet, and let me tell you, comrade, I'll guard the door for you if I have to. Love you all, and I thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I will see y'all soon. Goodbye.